Okay, we're live and recording. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to be on this call with us tonight. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited that we have so much momentum already moving into the new year. And we just wrapped up January. And I feel like in past years, January is typically a slower month around Enagic. And I haven't felt that so much this year. I feel like we've more or less left off. We're picking up more or less right where we left off at the end of 2019. So that's very, very exciting. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us on this bi-weekly Zoom call. The purpose of this call is to provide tremendous value to your business and to provide a duplicatable system for whether you've been part of Enagic for 5 years like me, or if you've been around for about a year, or if you're just getting started, or you haven't even picked up your SD501 yet. We want to provide for you a valuable system that you can follow, that's easy to learn, that anyone can use, and anyone can teach other people how to duplicate for themselves so that we can have a massive organization. And so the goal for 2020 is to work less, but yet create more value. And I strongly believe that what we're doing here is going to accomplish just that. So a couple shout outs that I want to give before we get started. First of all, unfortunately, Amanda Janis, who's been a great part of this process of putting this material together and really just, not just in the Northwest, but all around Enagic, putting the training out there and creating something that's very useful for everyone, anyone. And so I want to thank her for that. She is off closing a sale as we speak. She's doing paperwork on probably 2 or 3 machines, who knows, but I know she has some of her team joining us on this call. And let me just say, if you're part of Amanda Janis's team, wow, you're so blessed to have such an incredible leader. And all of us are just blessed to have Amanda as a leader. And I'm excited for her to see this later, and because she really deserves it. And a few other people that I just want to shout out. It's hard to do this because I don't want to leave people out, but a few very, very key people. Dan Edlin and Liz Christian, both, for the last couple years, I've been just locking arms with these two, and what a journey it's been. What they give of themselves for everyone else is unparalleled. I mean, recently we had the Seattle office closing its service department. Dan Edlin steps up, and he's been helping to alleviate a lot of that. And with Liz leading a lot of the trainings on Tuesday afternoons and creating PowerPoints and trainings a lot like this, and just such value. And they have the heart of Enagic. They have what Mr. Oshiro envisions for all of us, and that's this capacity to help others. It's mission before commission, right? And they truly have the mission before the commission. So thank you, Dan and Liz. I love you guys. And it is an amazing honor to just not only be friends of yours, but to do this business and to lock arms, change lives, travel the world. I always talk about sharing meals together. That's a very important thing. That's very near and dear to my heart. When I share a meal with someone, that's like an act of fellowship on a very deep level. So I just feel honored to call them my friends and colleagues. And then also,
I'm just going to throw in really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you can get in when he's doing the steak skewers, man, take the invitation. Don't miss that.
And the Caesar salad.
And the Caesar salad, yeah.
The steak and veggie skewers. I appreciate that, Dan. Thanks. Now everybody's going to be knocking on my door this summer when it's grilling time. You're all invited. Just come to Seattle. Well, thank you, guys. And I don't know if Sam Tran's on yet or not, but I just want to give him a huge shout out as well. He just got back from India. He's traveling all over the world, just building a huge business. And he is the master at duplication. And I hope he's able to join us a little bit later, because I want to take some feedback from him. But man, Sam is just on fire in this business, and just, again, providing value. And when you look at the leaders, the people that are really doing it in this business, they're not just out there selling machines. They're providing tremendous value to people's lives. And that's what this is all about. So again, thank you to all of you. And my goal as we do these calls, I want to start acknowledging people more and more. So we're going to start making that a regular part of this. I really want, praise and good stuff to be part of these calls, because it's also important for people that are looking at this to see the success of others, especially when it's a new distributor. And that's, again, why we're having so many new distributors get up in front of the Seattle office on Saturday afternoons and present for the very first time, because we're about creating leaders. Dan and I don't want to be doing, the demos forever. We want to create that duplication. So that's what we're doing. And we're just point at the guy next to you and say, hey, when are you getting up there? Okay. And then just, sign up. And if you don't have an event in your area, hey, even better, create one. If you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams, right? Okay. So I want to keep moving. We had the 6A leadership meeting in Seattle last Thursday, and a lot of people that were on this call were there, and it was great stuff. A lot of very valuable information. Please get with your sponsor, your leadership, and get that information and make sure you're up to date on what's going on coming down from corporate. And some numbers I do want to share that are really good for us to know where we're at. Our global sales goal for the year 2020 is 20,000 units per month. So that's what we're pushing for right now. Today we're standing at about 15,000 per month. So we can up that. We can get there this year by growing our teams and putting into practice what we're teaching on this call. In the United States, our sales goal is 5,200 per month by the end of 2020. Now we're at 4,000. So we're only 1,200 units off our sales goal in the United States. So if each US office just upped their game a couple hundred units, we're there. In Seattle, our goal is going to be 500. And right now we're at 350 to 375. Guys, we're close. We're 1/6A distributor away from our sales goal. Now, if every office did that across the country, then we'll hit our sales goal for the US. And if every country or every region did that, then we'll crush that 20,000. And imagine for the 6As and above what the bonus checks start looking like, and we start to see the big picture on how this is growing. So it's really good to get that information. And then we had another training following that meeting, and there was a lot of compliance issues that were brought to resolution and just out in the open, and a lot of clarification. So again, please make sure you're 100% crystal clear on anything regarding compliance, knowing what you're allowed to post. And knowing what's ethical to post. No medical claims, no income claims. We're not out there trying to cure or treat or diagnose anything. We're showing people a better way to earn income for whatever it is that gets them excited, whatever it is they're living for. And we try to help them stay hydrated and healthy and live a better physical lifestyle, right? Very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate things. So I'm seeing some nods, so I feel that's good, and I hope what I'm saying here is resonating. So thank you again for everyone that participated in that. And if you want clarity or if you have questions about any of that, I'd like to make myself available. Reach out to me. My email is steve@truehealthlegacy.com, or you can text me, call me, find me on Facebook. I'm very easy to access, and y'all know that I'll take my time out for you and do whatever I can to make sure that we're clear on everything. All right, so we are going to get into I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of our presentation here tonight. We are going to do a very quick review of what we've covered so far, but that does not include the Enagic compensation plan. If you want to review or learn the Enagic comp plan, how we get paid, how our business is structured, reach out to me. I'd love to do a presentation for you. There's plenty of videos out there. If you go to the YouTube channel where I've been posting these videos, True Health Legacy, all the recordings are out there. The last 3 meetings we've done, we've had a full version of the comp plan, so you can see all of that. That's available. And but we're not going to go through it tonight for the sake of time. So we're going to really fly through this. Okay, so here's what's coming up. You want to make sure that you're plugged into the events and the calls that are happening every week. Starting every Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, Eli and Jelena Daffish host their Kangen call. It is the most valuable training you can get. It's available every week, and they have top leaders from around the business every single week giving you absolute gold, the best information that you can use. You can go out and start using it that day. There have been many Saturdays when I've been driving to a demo or a presentation or someone's house, and I've been listening to this call, and I've used something that I heard on that call in that presentation or that meeting and walked away successful. I can't count how many times that's happened to me personally. Okay, so it's very, very powerful. And you can listen to that recording anytime throughout the week. We are hosting business development training. If you're local to the Seattle office, every Tuesday at the Seattle office, Dan Edlund, myself, Liz, and Sam are all part of hosting that. We're doing a lot of the stuff that you're seeing here. We're doing some role play, some scripts. We teach people how to do demos. Very interactive, very intimate, hands-on Q&A, really good stuff there. And then every Saturday, again, if you're in the Seattle area, we have an open house at 1:30 at the Linwood office, where we have a full demo, full water presentation, the Enagic overview, how you can get your machine for free, how you can join the business, everything you need to know. You can get water, you can pick up your machine, you can do paperwork, meet all kinds of great distributors and people that are excited and involved. The Saturdays are always buzzing around the office on Saturdays. And then in late April, we're having a super weekend in Linwood, Washington, right near the Enagic Seattle office. The times and the venue are just yet to be locked down. It's probably going to be the Embassy Suites in Linwood, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It's going to be a huge 2-day event hosted by JV Pacifico. A great deal of us on this call are part of JV's business. He's the godfather of Enagic, just very generous man, incredible trainings that he puts on. So we're all looking forward to that. And if you're relatively nearby, JJ, let's get you back up here in Seattle, brother. It's going to start getting warm in April. Would love to have you in this area. Maybe if you're in Idaho or Oregon or Northern California, or just get on a plane and come up to Seattle for a weekend. We'd love to see you. And then the big event this year is the global event in Las Vegas from September 3rd through the 5th. That's at the Mirage Hotel and Casino. Tickets are very inexpensive for this. Tickets to Vegas are very inexpensive. You could share rooms with people, whatever you're going to do. But if you're part of this business and you're serious about this business, then you have to be here. Especially if you've never been to a global event. It will open your eyes and it will set you on fire for this business like never before. And better yet, if you can get someone new, one of your new teammates that have never been there, or someone that hasn't even joined your business yet, if you can get them there, then I promise you are going to have a fantastic end of 2020 and 2021. Okay, so let's get into it. We've been talking about these skills, the 7 skills to do this business. They're very easy skills. There's no more, there's no less. Okay, if you spent the next 7 years developing each of these skills, you will be a master in all areas of business. You will be able to run and operate any type of business anywhere. I consider it having a PhD in business, except rather than paying to go to school, you're going to get paid a lot of money along the way, okay? Anybody can learn these skills, and you, like I said, you get to earn a lot of money. In every business, there are 3 elements. There's the product, there's the process, and there's the people. In our case, we have 2 out of 3 already. We have our product, which we know is amazing, and we have the process, the 8-point system. We know it works. So the only variable in this equation is us. So let's go to work on our 7 skills so that we can become successful business builders. Okay, the skills are very simple. We've heard these. This is a bit repetitive, but again, having this memorized and really knowing what we can focus in on will help us tremendously. So finding prospects, which is what we covered last week. We're going to do a very brief review on this tonight. And then inviting, which is our main topic tonight. Presenting, following up professionally, closing, helping new people get started, and building for events. That's it. Most people on this call already have 2 or 3 or 4 of these skills well under wraps. And they just need to develop a few others and master the ones that they already have a hold on. Okay, so this very simple list is not quite so overwhelming for a new person. Okay, so how do we track what we're doing in our business? How can we determine whether or not we're doing these activities and building these skill sets? We've developed a system called Cashing Out. We're not going to go too far into this tonight, but this is a great way to track what you're doing every day. So if you're identifying and interviewing a new prospect in your business, then you've worked on your prospecting for that day, and you've cashed out or made money in your business. If you've introduced someone new to a third party or to a video demo or some other third party, then you've worked on that skill as well. If you've invited someone to a presentation or to a meeting, then you've worked on that skill. If you've presented a product, if you've done a short demo for someone, then you've worked on the skill of presenting. If you processed an order or shared water with a new person, then you've worked on closing and helping people get started. If you've invested in yourself, your personal development, your spiritual growth, your personal growth, your business growth, your economic growth, then you've made money in your business and you've made yourself better. And then by paying it forward is simply service. That act of giving to others what we have is it's a virtue. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. We have this cashing out log. I love using this. I love sharing this with my team. If you want this, reach out to me. It's a great tool for tracking what you're doing throughout the week and the month. And then on the back side of it, you can keep your list of your new prospects that you met that week, a list of the people that you want to follow up with throughout the week. And then you can put the dates and the times of the events that are coming up, who's speaking, what the topic is. And then below that, all the people that you want to get to that event, your invitees, and start working on that. This way, from one single sheet of paper, you could work your entire business just by flipping it back and forth. You're tracking, you know everything that you need to do. You have that list there, and then you have your inventory right there on the back. So like I said, if you need that, or if you feel free to create your own. That's what this is all about. I just like to provide a good template for people to use. So our topic last week was finding prospects. Okay, and yeah, of course, finding prospects is, yes, a skill. Most people, when they're new in this industry, in this business, feel that it's more of a luck thing. You know, you get lucky if you happen to come across that one person that's going to blow your business up for you. But the reality is, finding people is a skill. And there are a lot of people in this business that are very, very, very skillful at this. And Sam Tran is one of these people. Lawrence Jancic, who's part of Dan Edlin's business, is incredibly skilled at finding prospects. He could walk into a grocery store and walk out 10 minutes later. I see Liz and Dan laughing. He could walk in and out of a grocery store 10 minutes later and have them up at the Enagic office, and within 30 minutes doing paperwork on an SD 501. It's amazing. But it's truly a skill. He's not consistently lucky that much. Okay, so it truly is a skill. So finding prospects. Okay, so where do I start? Do I even know anybody? Well, you'd be surprised how many people you really do know. Okay, so there's 3 types of people in our business. We have posers, amateurs, and professionals. We're not even going to focus on the posers or the amateurs because we want to be professionals. So for professionals, finding prospects is actually the core skill in their business because they want to ensure that they never, ever, ever run out of people to talk to. If you can do that, then you can guarantee you're going to have a massive business in network marketing anywhere, let alone in Enagic. So it's their core skill. They have an active list that is constantly expanding. Okay. 3, the secret to a profitable database, your list is your database. However it is, whether your list is written, whether it's in Microsoft Excel, whether you use some sort of customer database or CRM, whatever. Just make sure you have a real list, and it cannot be only in your head, okay? So the best way to identify who's going to be on your list is to follow the 3 I's. So you interview people. When we meet people, we're talking to them. We're asking them a lot of questions. We're not blabbing about ourselves because that's what everybody else does. So when we see someone we identify as sharp, we start to ask them questions, okay? We find a common interest. And then from those questions, the answers to those questions, we identify whether or not that person's qualified for our business or for our product or for our opportunity. Okay. If their life is great, they're in perfect physical health and they have $10 million in the bank and their spiritual life is great, I don't know. But if they have poor physical health, we have a need for them. If they have a need for money for whatever reason, then we have a way to help them. It's up to us to identify what those needs are. You can identify a need in most people, almost anyone, okay? And then we simply introduce them. We don't pitch ourselves. We introduce them to a third party, whether it's our colleague, our sponsor, the Enagic office, a video, something other than ourselves. Okay, 4 ways to master this skill. First is to make a very, 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 very comprehensive list. Everyone you can possibly think of. People you went to junior high with, high school with, college, people that you work with today, people that you played on the playground with in preschool, if you can remember their names. Everyone. And then, who do they know? This is called anchoring. So you tap into their network and their webs, and you'd be surprised how many more people you get. You've heard of the 6 degrees of separation, that we can meet anyone in the world through 6 people. I believe that's true, absolutely. Okay, your list is constantly expanding, which means every week you're adding new names to your list. You go to the grocery store, you meet someone in line, you put them on your list. When you meet someone at the office or at work or at the gym, you have a conversation with them, you get their contact information, or you know where to find them, you write them on your list. If you're not at your list, which I don't expect you to carry it with you all the time, but I know what you're carrying with you all the time right now, and that's your phone. And I know what every smartphone has is a notes app. And when you pull up your notes app, you could put in notes with the phone number, a description of them, where to find them, what you talked about, anything you need. And then you can, when you get home, you either sync it up with your database or you do whatever, but you have it on you. Okay, you don't even need business cards, because you're not even giving out business cards unless you get their information anyway, but that's a different topic. The point is, you're constantly expanding your list. And then get out there and network on purpose. That means getting out and doing what you enjoy doing. If you love to ski, then go ski. If you love going to the boat show, then go to the boat show. If you love fishing, then go to fishing expos. Go where there's going to be a lot of people, and you're going to be able to talk to people about what you enjoy doing. That's going to be the best way to build genuine relationships with people. Okay, so where do I meet people? There's so many different places to meet people, and these are just a few of my favorites, places that I've personally met people for my business: networking groups, social media, trade shows, the grocery store, church, gym, shopping mall, Toastmasters. If you don't know what Toastmasters is, reach out to me. It's amazing. When you're traveling, airplanes, airports, restaurants, lead generation sites, people are in your neighborhood, in your apartment complex, coffee shops, amusement parks, on the golf course. If you're a skier, on the chairlift or snowboarding, fitness expos, or anything that you enjoy doing. These are all prospecting opportunities. If you have a few hours to kill in your day and you don't know what to do for your business, you don't have anyone new to talk to, go somewhere where you're going to find something you enjoy doing and talk to people that are doing the same thing. It's very, very easy. Okay, use an effective database. I like to keep 3 separate lists. Now, again, you can do whatever you want. Do what works best for you, but this is what I like to use, and this is what I found to work best. Okay, so I have a list of my new prospects, people that I've just met. I haven't exposed them really to anything regarding Enagic or Kangen Water yet. I get their name, their information, where I met them, a couple quick notes about them, and how to get a hold of them. Okay, and I always ask people, what's the best way for me to reach you? Whether it's phone or text. Okay, if they give you their email address and they don't give you their phone number, they're not that interested. Okay, active database. These are the people that I am currently exposing in some way to Enagic or Kangen Water. So I have all the same information, but I have the last time that I contacted them, the date that I want to follow up with them by, and now very, very importantly, their level of interest. This is a 1 to 10. How do I know what their level of interest is on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, I ask them. It's the easiest way. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, being 1 being you have 0 interest in this whatsoever, or 10 being, yeah, I want this right now in my life, where are you? Ask them. They'll tell you. If they're a 7, ask them what it takes to get them to an 8. We'll go into this later in a further training, but just find out where they are. Or if you just met them, kind of eyeball it. Give them, use your judgment, but have a level of interest there. And then for your follow-up database, the same information, but these are simply people that either the window of opportunity isn't open right now, or they're just not seeing it, or they told you to follow up with them sometime down the line in the future. These are people you want to talk to in 2 or 3 months. Maybe you'll follow up with them and send them a quick video, or just say how they're doing and reach out to them. Send them a new piece of information. Never send people the same thing twice, okay? Dan Edmond likes to say, if you're not bothering people if you're sending them new information. Did I get that right? Okay, so that's it. You're not bothering them if it's new information. Okay, how do you put this into action? Okay, so you're always ready to meet people. When you go to the grocery store, how do you look? Are you in your sweats? Are you dressed up for success? Are you ready to meet your next 6A when you're at the grocery store or at the mall? Don't ever disqualify anyone. You never know who your next 6A is going to be. You never know who's ready to invest in a Kangen water machine today. And don't judge people by their appearances. I promise you never know. Ask about their interests, their passions, their why. Don't blab about yourself. Ask about them. Be yourself. Just be the absolute best self you can be. Be confident, be bold, but be yourself. Don't be some crazy salesperson. Be genuine when you give compliments, and always give compliments. If you can, start every conversation with a compliment. A compliment is the best conversation starter in the world. And I was just sharing this the other day. When I see people with their kids or their pets, that's what I go for immediately. Because it's easy to give a genuine compliment about a pet or someone's kids. And it begins that bond very quickly. And believe me, people love to talk about their pets and their kids. So you'll get a conversation. Represent your brand. Carry your bottle with you. I'm not saying have a sandwich board with Kangen water on it and be that crazy person, but have your bottle. If you have cards, have them on you. Maybe wear the logo. If you wear a hat, have something, but represent your brand. Be proud of Enagic and who we are. And most of all, have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then it's not even worth it. And if you're not having fun, you're probably not going to have that great of success anyway. People are attracted to people that are having a good time. And if people see you having fun, they're going to be attracted to you. And they're going to want to join your business because they see you having fun doing your business. When you meet them at the mall and they're like, what are you doing? They ask about you. What are you doing? Well, I guess I'm kind of working. What do you do? This? What do you mean? You're having fun. Well, yeah, I have fun for a living. Okay. It's a great way to bridge that gap. Inviting, skill number 2, and that's what we're going to focus on tonight. And there are so many different ways to invite. There is no right way. There really isn't a wrong way, but we want to make sure that we at least follow some sort of a pattern, especially for new people, so that they have something to follow. Because it is very important that you hit certain elements in your invitation. What makes inviting so important, for obvious reasons, is that nobody's ever going to join your business or buy your product if they don't know about it, if they haven't seen a presentation, if they haven't been properly educated about it. That's why inviting is considered to be the gateway skill. Time and time and time again, I have seen people succeed and fail based on their ability to get people in the room. It is simply the great equalizer in the Enagic business. If you can get people in the room, if you can get people in front of the person that does the demo, then you can win. Because if 10 people see this presentation, at least 2 of them are going to buy. So if you're consistent, if you just keep doing it and you're having people show up, then you're going to hit. The only way you're not going to succeed in this business is if you don't ever bring anybody to a presentation, if you don't ever get anybody on a Zoom call, and if you don't ever properly expose someone. If you are always the one that's doing the presenting, doing the convincing, doing the talking, then you're never, ever, ever going to have massive success in this business. So you have to get really good. In fact, you have to become an expert at getting people to see someone else or that third party exposure. And that's what this skill is all about. Okay. So inviting really isn't that daunting. It really isn't, especially when you start to put it into a system. Now remember, we're not hunters, we're farmers. Okay, this is right from Eric Worre. By the way, so much of this material comes from this book right here. Eric Worre's GoPro is more or less the backbone for this training, and Eric Worre is the foremost trainer for all of network marketing industry. We know that eNagic isn't multi-level and it isn't necessarily network marketing, but we use so many facets of those types of business in our business. So it's important to follow who's succeeded the most in our industry. Okay, be empathetic. How do you like to be invited? Think back to when you were first invited to your Kangen water demonstration for the very first time. How did you feel? How did that person invite you? What was it that convinced you to show up? Think about that and try to emulate that in your invitation. Most important of all, we are not pitching. We are not verbally doing the Kangen water demonstration for these people while we're inviting them to the Kangen water demonstration. We're not explaining the business presentation to them while we're inviting them to see a business presentation. We're simply inviting them to come look at something. When they start asking questions, we answer with things like, you know what, I'm not 100% sure, but all of that will be covered in the presentation. Dan's going to cover that on Saturday. Jonathan's going to talk about that on the webinar. Whatever you do, do not start pitching or start answering these questions that you know are going to be answered when they're being educated properly. Okay, again, do not pitch. The secret formula to massive success in this business is our ability to get a large group of people to consistently do a few simple things over an extended period of time. Those few simple things are making a list of people and inviting those people to come look at what we have to offer. That's really about it. The rest of the skills tend to fall in place. So keys to a successful invitation. Use a third party, especially if you're new in the business. It's easier if you have your sponsor or whoever it is that's been helping you and coaching you. It's easier to have them help you with this if you're not comfortable with it, especially the first few times. Get together, sit down, go through your list, and make the calls together the first time. Emotionally detached from the outcome. Very, very important, especially when you're new. It's really easy to get excited, and you're really excited to tell your best friend or your mom or your dad or your aunt or your uncle about this. And you start to tell them what you think you know, and then they start saying, you know what? And then you get discouraged. Okay, don't be attached to the outcome. Okay, you're going to face a lot of rejection in this business. It's okay. Just be cool and continue exposing, keep moving forward, get back up on the horse, and be yourself. Just like I said, be a more confident, bolder version of yourself, and bring the strongest posture you can. If you look at yourself in the mirror before you leave the house, okay, first of all, how do you look? Are you put together? Are your sideburns even? Are you trimmed? Do you look good? Do you smell good? How's your breath? I mean, these are things to pay attention to. Okay? Are you ready to meet your next 6A? And then look at your posture. Are your shoulders forward? Do you stand tall? Do you walk forward? Do you walk with confidence? Or are you slouched over and kind of defeated? Because that translates to when you meet people, they want to see someone who's excited, someone who's passionate, and someone who can help them reach their goals, right? Notice what happens when I clap my hands. It brings me to another level. So get yourself into a peak state when you go out to meet people and talk to people. But again, don't be crazy. Just be confident, be bold, and be passionate. The process of a proper invitation. JJ's back there going nuts. JJ's always in top primo state. All right, the process of inviting takes less than 30 seconds. Okay, and I recorded this before I did this, and it truly does take less than 30 seconds. Step one, be in a hurry. Okay, people are always attracted to people that have things going on. We don't want to be someone that's just has the whole day to, with nothing better to do. Be in a hurry, you're busy. Compliment the person. Very important. It's also very important that it's a genuine compliment. Okay? Again, things that are easy to compliment. Children, pets, clothing. If it's someone that performed or spoke, compliment them on that. Very, very easy. Making the invitation. If I would you, this is extremely powerful, and we're going to see this in an example in just a moment. You get the time commitment. You confirm the time commitment. You schedule the next call or meeting, and you get off the phone or you get out of there. May look like a lot, but this is what it really looks like, okay? Let's see if I can move my, okay. This is a very indirect approach. So if I'm talking to my friend Dan, hey Dan, I know you're super busy and I only have a minute, but I'm glad I caught you. I've always admired your keen sense for a great opportunity when you see one. And I'm taking a serious look into partnering with this company from Japan. One of the leaders in the area is holding a short overview of the company this Saturday afternoon at their corporate branch in Linwood. If I saved you a seat, would you be able to stop by and give me your feedback? Great. The meeting starts at 1:30 p.m. Does that work for you? Awesome. I'll text you the address and look forward to seeing you this Saturday at 1:30. All right. Well, I got to go. I'll see you then. Very simple. And I covered all 8 steps in the invitation. And this is a script. This took me about 3 to 4 minutes to write, and I practiced it about 2 or 3 times, and I timed it. Now, when I was reading that, did it sound like I was reading from a script? I don't think so. And if I practiced it 2 or 3 more times, it would just roll off my tongue. And as you continue to do this, you'll get more natural at it, and you could start to inflect tonality. Here's another one. Here's a different approach. This one is the direct approach. Hey Tristan, I know you're super busy and I only have a minute, but I'm glad I caught you. I really enjoyed meeting you at your show the other night. I haven't danced like that in years. When we were chatting after the show, you mentioned you were trying to raise funds for studio time, right? Well, it may or may not be for you, but I might have a way to help you earn that studio time without having to bug your friends or knock on doors. If I were to schedule a quick call with a close friend and mentor who's had massive success helping people buy back their time, would you be willing to hear what he has to say? Great. What would be the best time for you or day? Awesome. I'll schedule the call with Carlos for this Saturday at 1:30. All right. Well, I got to run. Talk to you then. Again, very simple. These are just super general examples. You can use these with anyone with any type of situation. One more for, say, this is someone you're sharing Kangen water with. Hi, Troy. I know you're super busy and I only have a minute, but I'm glad I caught you. I really enjoyed bumping into you Friday night at the gym. While we were talking, you mentioned some physical fitness tests that the Navy had you training for. Well, this may or may not be for you, but I might have a way to help you hydrate better and recover faster from your workouts. If I were willing to share a few gallons of this special water created by a Japanese technology, would you be willing to try it for a few days and let me know how it makes you feel? Great. What's the best day or time I can drop by? Awesome. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening at 5:30. All right, well, I got to run. See you then. So those are just 3 very, very, very simple examples, and you can use these with anyone in any different situation. Eric Worre, in his book, is going to outline a lot more of these, and we can go more into these in detail as we go through this training. There's about 6 or 7 different types of approaches you can make. But these are just a very simple backbone that you can use. And again, if you plug these steps into your, let's go back to our, if we go back, if you're just plugging these steps into your invitations and making sure that you're especially hitting the if I would you. This one's the most important because this is a value exchange. If I shared some water with you, would you drink it? If I invited you to a presentation, would you come? So if you take anything away from this, please make sure you have that if I would you value exchange in with your invitations. Again, a lot of times people will begin pitching during this phase. They will start giving the demo. They will start verbally doing the presentation, and you're just really giving them all the excuses in the world for them not to come to the presentation. Okay? So, massive action. Before we get into this, I actually want to bring a few people on. I want to see if we have, okay, Jonathan Candelario is the first one I want to talk to today because Jonathan's one of our newer distributors in this business. But Jonathan has been, especially lately, a fantastic example of success in the invitation. And I know Jonathan, a few months ago, this was an area that he was kind of struggling in, as we all did in the beginning. But I've seen probably the most drastic change in the last 60 days in his show up rate. I mean, every Saturday he has someone new in the room. Every time he's at Tuesday training, he has someone new with him. So he's been constantly exposing new people. And I don't even know how many new people he's exposed in the last 60 days, but it's been a lot. So he was talking earlier before this call about making gains in the gym. Well, Jonathan's been making a lot of gains in his Enagic business as well. So with that, I just want to bring you on, Jonathan. Just first of all, thank you for being on. If you can, there we go. You're unmuted. Thank you for joining us. And I just want to, have you share with us, first of all, where you were and what you've done differently to get the results you've been getting lately.
Yes. So thank you, Steve, for asking me, and thank you for bringing me on here. So before, I was just in a lot of fear and assuming. I would assume like right and left, if someone, I was like, that person's not interested, that person's not interested. So instead of doing that, it's like, well, you don't know that yet. So why don't you try it? Take the action and actually just do it. Just do it anyway. But we have to follow a process to that, right? So for me, I would just strongly build rapport if it's with somebody that I knew, that knew me. That obviously made it a little easier, the warm market. Build rapport, and then following up, and then consistency, and then all that surrounding professionalism, being very, very professional with people. And then, yeah, just when I meet people, I'm just like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? I'll just like, I'll make sure my eyes light up. And this will be sometimes when I'm just like, have already worked, coming from Boeing or whatever the scenario is, because I'm learning to have to like disregard no matter what's happening in my day. Because, I'm 9 out of 10 times I always have like pretty good days, but it's not perfect. Some things will pop up. But for me, it's about keeping that composure, being consistent, not using the excuse of, oh, I had this little hiccup in my day, because we all do. We're human. Luckily for me, I have so many tools to counter those. So all that is from investing in myself, investing from day one, working with Kyle, working with Steve, Eric Worre, now, working with Amanda Bobbitt, Grant Cardone, 10X, just 10Xing things, going just to the top, just even just like at the gym, I would just like, dude, like, why are you just doing 8 or 10 or 12? Just do 15. And then like, just do 15 reps, man. Like why can't you do it? And then I thought about it. I was just like, our bodies get tired throughout the day. We're doing stuff, or, we start getting complacent or complaining. Your mind can always counter that, and can always like turn that around. So if I'm just saying like, okay, well, if I'm just like working on like one person, inviting one person at a time, or trying to just get that one person, or I have like, because that's what I did before. That's what I did. I was just like really focusing on one or two people. I'm just like, well, if you spread that out and just keep taking hits, that's what you said. The more swings you take, the more hits you're gonna get. Don't prejudge people. Don't assume, and just keep going for it. Because honestly, like my biggest fear, it's not so much a fear, because I really feel like I'm gonna have just massive success. Or an old fear, I should say, is that someday on my deathbed or whatever, when I get old, I'll be sitting there, I'll be like, man, I wish I did that, or I wish I would have done that. It's just like, because this is our life. This is our kind of our one shot kind of deal. So yeah, so I'm super excited about the future and my training, and just keep investing and learning, and keep taking the next indicated steps. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Like you hit it right on the head. I mean, you are always so positive, and the energy that you bring is electric, and that's the name of your company, right? Electric's Water.
Electrics H2O.
Electrics H2O. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, Jonathan, that's your energy, and that's what you bring, and that's attractive, and that's what people are. That's why people are showing up for you. And so, for the rest of you on this call, again, your state, how you manage your state, how you show up, it's the energy you bring is going to determine the type of people that you attract. Thanks, man. I'm really proud of you. I'm really excited for what's going to happen in your Enagic business and what your future looks like. So keep rocking, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too, buddy.
All right. We got a couple minutes left. I did see that our friend, she's not available. Okay. So, Dan and Liz, can I bring you guys on?
Hi, Steve.
She's coming.
What you munching on, Dan? You're on camera here, buddy.
I was going to say, I was watching JJ eat for about 20 minutes. And the whole time I was just like, man, I'm starving. And then finally I just was like, go get me. I got to get something to eat. So JJ started it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm hungry right now. I'd be eating too, but I have to do this.
Right.
So.
That's the deal. I just get to sit in the background. So thank you for being on there. It's great to hear you, Jonathan. I can't wait to see your demo, and very, very happy for him and proud of him to watch his growth. And we're really looking forward to it.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much, bro. Thanks, Liz.
And Steve, I was going to say, for the first time ever on Friday, Liz is going to be doing her own guest appearance on JJ's show. So
yeah.
if we can turn in and check out Liz on Friday, we'll be on JJ's show. And I'm looking forward. I get to just sit back and enjoy that. And I'm so proud of her and the things he's doing too. And there's Amanda. I'm just so glad to just get on here and see my family. So I appreciate it.
I'll be on there with me. That'll be my PJ morning. I'll be on JJ's call. You'll see this, but I'll be on my PJ bottoms on.
Hey, you know what? The days that I can get onto JJ's thing, I usually just got the coffee sitting there, and I'm half tuned in and half tuned out. But it's a great way to start the day when I can do it.
Hey JJ, if you could just send out anybody that wants to be on this call that wants to tune into that, reach out to JJ on Facebook, and he'll include you, get you the link to join into that call. Liz, did you want to add anything else?
No, great training, Steve. I appreciate you always. I appreciate the evolution of your training and just that you're so willing to openly share. So I'm grateful for you and everybody here on here tonight. So love you guys.
So I appreciate you both as well. All right. Next, she has joined us from the land of closing deals. Where's Amanda Janis?
Oh, I'm home. Yay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Today
was awesome. Do you guys remember when I was talking to you about that mom and wife who had bought the Baywell ionizer?
Yeah.
So she purchased her Enagic unit today, and I'm
Nice.
so thankful and so proud of her for making that decision, because we all know that now she's getting the water that her and her family deserve. She's got a little girl and a wonderful husband who's, a man's man. He just drilled right through the countertop, just bam. but it fills my heart with such joy that they get to drink the best water on the planet, and we know that that's what ours is, and it just makes me happy. So great meeting tonight. I've missed the first couple of minutes, but I think the most important thing as far as inviting people is really that one little question, if I will you.
Yeah.
That is such a huge thing, because otherwise it's not an even energy exchange. It's very one-sided. You're just asking them, come, and it feels almost desperate. Whereas if you do the if I will you, it's, hey, I have something of value and I'm willing to share it with you, but you have to do something for me as well. And so when there's that even exchange, it's much more respected. So I don't know. That's my favorite part of the invite.
Yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. It's that value exchange. It's, you know, we're offering something of value, because so many times we devalue what we have to offer, whether it be oversharing the water, or, you know what I mean, just kind of when we share water for 3 months, you know, that devalues the water. When we things like that, but this is like, hey, you know, I have something real. This is something that has real value. You know, if I give this to you, are you gonna drink it, or are you gonna just, you know, dump it or whatever? So, really good. How's everything else going? What have you been finding to be the when you're talking to new people and you're trying to get them to come to maybe your demo that we had last Saturday? You know, what is it that you really want to convey to them in that invitation?
You know, it's hard for me to not spill too much information. I will hose people down with, it's the greatest water, it's got antioxidants, it's got this, it's got that, and then all of a sudden I'll catch myself and be like, oh shit. I just hosed them down and they're backing up and they're wanting to do research.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh God. Oh, just lost them, didn't we? I think the most important thing is finding a time that works for them. And lately I've had more success with bringing the demo to them. You know, not always are people able to go to the office on a Saturday, and when I live, you know, 45 minutes south and I have somebody that's even more south, to try to convince them to give up half of their Saturday, it's like, it's not going to happen. So if I can get on the phone with them, or if I'm seeing them in person, and I just said, you know what, if I come to your house, would you want to take a look at this? You know, I'm willing to drive out there if you're willing to take a look. And a lot of the times that works, and I'm able to just go in somebody's home where they're comfortable. You know, they're in a place where you know, they could be themselves, they can kick off their shoes and, you know, ask me some questions. I think after that, because not everybody buys right away when you do an in-home demo, but if you can introduce a third-party verification after the demo on your follow-up, that 9 times out of 10, it works really well.
Absolutely. And you give them that added comfort of being in their home, and that I like that level of service. I enjoy sitting at someone's kitchen table, or, you know, across the kitchen counter from them, and, you know, letting their kids do the pH drops, and, you know, washing with their tap water, and, hey, I just happen to have my machine in the car. You know, I can leave it here for 3 or 4 days, right?
Yeah. And what's super easy about that is anybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to know how to do a big demo with a PowerPoint and stand in front of 30, 40 people. You can just go into somebody's house with a couple cups and use their water that they're already drinking, you know, use their pH drops, show the chlorine, show how you can wash the tomatoes. You don't even have to know the lingo. You just put some drops in a cup. They'll be blown away. The first demo that ever was done for me was 3 or 4 cups on the table, some pH drops, and there was no ORP meter. There was no, you don't have to have that.
No.
There was no book or flip chart. You know, it was, this
$300 demo stands.
No.
Yeah.
This is good. It's purple. This is bad. It's yellow or orange. And I was sold right away. It was like, wow, this really is different. I'm in. Of course, I didn't have the money, but that all got worked out.
We know that story.
Yeah, that all got worked out. So yeah, go to people, meet them where they're at. JJ.
Yep. Well, thank you. It is 7:56. We're just a few minutes shy of the hour. Is there anything else? If you have something you want to throw in that I missed, now's the time. Unmute yourself. If not, you can find this recording. It's going to be on social media tomorrow. I'll have this out on Facebook tomorrow morning and YouTube tonight. My YouTube channel is True Health Legacy. Email steve@truehealthlegacy.com. Any materials that I shared in this presentation are available for free. I don't charge for any of this stuff, obviously. I want to just share it and provide as much value. You guys are amazing. I love Enagic. I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening. We'll see you here 2 weeks from tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific. You're awesome.
You too, buddy.
Get your hugs, kids. Thanks, Steve. Love everybody. Guys, have a great night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.